Welcome, day 1 out of 3 of your next 5 clients workshop. I'm so excited. Hey guys, it is time to get those cameras on. It is time we are getting off. So get those cameras on so we can get started. We are going into work mode today. So I want to be able to see you guys. I'm Sana, and I'm going to host this workshop the next 3 days together with my partner, Lucas. And Lucas, you are in the room.
Hey guys,
And I have
excited to be here with you.
Yep. I got you in here. Great, welcome. So, well, good to see you, Lars. Good to see you, me. Elizabeth, we have you. I can see you have problems with your camera. Christina, good to see you. Anna, good to see you. Georgia, are you here with us? Hey, Eva. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Prit. Hey, Anna. Hey, Marielle, good to see you. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Monica, good to have you here. The secret coach. See, that's secret when you don't have your camera on. Can the secret coach get the camera on so you get less secret? That's a great name. We have Hillary, good to have you here. Susie, good to have you. Editor, Morton, good to have you. Flora, good to have you. Hey, Nikki, nice. Thank you for getting that camera on. And Eva as well, good to have you that camera on. Elizabeth, good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Really happy to have you here. We have, what else do we have? What else do we have? We have Anna, we have Anhild. Good to have you here, Susie. Good to see you here. Hey, guys, where are you checking in from? Can you write in the chat, where are you checking in from? Where are you at? Where are you at right now? We have Liverpool, we have Glasgow. So we have, what do we have here? We have bonjour. That's what I understood. I'm not that good at French, but at least I understood that. So I guess that's French. We have Liverpool, UK, we have France, we have Glasgow, we have London, we have Ola from Spain, we have Nairobi, we have Lund in Sweden, we have Spain, we have Kolding in Denmark, we have Örebro in Sweden, we have Krakow, we have Sweden, we have another Sweden, we have Florence, Italy. We got a lot of different nationalities and a lot of different coaches in this room. That's exciting. Hey guys, are this your first event? Is this the first time you're here, or have you been with us before? If you're new in here, can you write new so I know who's new, never met us before? And if you've been here before, can you write before so I know who's been here before? We have a lot of new people. Monica's new. We have Marielle is new, Susie's new, Christina is new, and Flo is new. And it's a premiere, it's new for you as well. Secret coach. Eva been here before, Lars been here before, Nikki is new, editor is new. So it's fair to say most of you are meeting us for the first time. So I want to give a special welcome to you because you're here for the very first time. Well, welcome, 3 days. And I'm going to be straight with you. You don't know us yet. You don't know what we do, and that's fine. I am not going to ask you to trust us. We're going to earn that trust from you during these next 3 days. So really, I want to ask you once again, if you do not have your camera on right now, please get it on. Not because I'm going to kick you out of the room, but the thing is, we are going to go deep. We're actually going to do work. It's a workshop. We're going to do some work. We're actually going to give you something that is going to help you in your business. And we want to make sure this is actually landing, that you're taking it in. And we want to make sure we can prioritize you. We are going to have a Q&A, and we will prioritize you if we can actually see you, because that helps us to coach you. Is that fair? Fair. Can you write fair if that's fair? It just makes it so much easier for us to coach you when we can see you. Awesome, that's fair. So if you, and anyway, I love the thumbs up. If you in any way can get those cameras on, please do it. And you know what? Funny story. I used to be in the team with Tony Robbins, and I had one event. My job was literally to turn off cameras when people went to the toilet and brought their camera. So since then, every time I see someone without the camera on, you know what I'm imagining where you're at right now? I'm thinking that something is going on I'm not supposed to see. So just so you know what I'm thinking, but that's just on me. So please get those cameras on if you can do it, so we can get into some work at Camera Tropolis. Really good. So really good. By the end of these 3 days, you'll know whether we are the real deal or not, or maybe we're just full of it. You'll figure that out, and I believe that's a fair test. So let's get started with that. Now, 2 things before we get going. First thing, most of you are somewhere in the same loop, meaning that some of you haven't had your first client yet, and some of you have a few clients, but the next month is still a mystery. What's going to happen? Some of you are doing okay, but every month feel like you're starting over. And I said, just show of hands, can you recognize yourself in any one of these descriptions? Either completely new, feel like you're starting over all the time, or next month is just like, shit, what am I going to do next month? Great, then you are in the right place. You're definitely in the right place. So the reason why it's not compounding probably isn't effect or effort, because I believe you are working hard, but it's that the system you're running is probably broken. And we built a system now that works for more than 900 coaches across 22 countries, mainly in Europe. And it's all coaches in different niches. I don't believe you can bring a niche in here that we haven't been working in before. So, but test us out. And we will show you this system during the next 3 days. And then secondly, and let me be very clear about what these 3 days will give you and what they don't. The fastest way for you to lose trust in us is if we overpromise. So think of these 3 days as a diagnosis. By Thursday, you will know exactly what's broken in your business, not the symptom, but you'll know the actual cause. And by then, we will be starting to fix some of the things that we need to do. You'll also know where should you be focusing in your business right now if you want to change that. And I promise you, you're going to get more clarity in these 3 days than most coaches get in 6 months, maybe even a year. So what you're going to get is a clear diagnosis, but it's not going to be a cure. We only have 3 days together. Even though we have 2 hours every day, even though you already recognize I speak a little bit fast, I am trying to give you as much as I can. The 3 hours or 6 hours during the next 3 days is not a lot. And knowing what's wrong is not the same as fixing. So the cure for a stuck coaching business is 90 days of installing the right systems while someone actually walks you step by step through it. So in these 3 days, we are going to start it, but we won't finish the work. So this week is the diagnosis. We'll start repairing. Some of you would take it and you'll try on your own, and some of you will want to save time and get the help to fix the things that is not working. So I will be mentioning our paid program a few times when it's relevant. And some of you want to come and join us by Thursday, and some of you won't, and both are just fine. So let's get started.
I love that. Super good. Guys, I'm excited to be here with you. And in a minute, Sunny is going to guide you through one of our clients' transformations. But before we do that, I want you to have something on a piece of paper. So either take out your workbook if you have that printed, if you can write in it digitally. Sharu, could you please help us to share the workbook link in the chat so that we have that? I love that. Thank you, Sharu. And you'll get to know Sharu and realize that she is the engine behind everything that we do in the background. Really cool. Workbook in the chat. For now, pen and paper works just fine, but bring that out because I want us to start painting a picture. So on a blank piece of paper, what I would like you to do is write down the monthly revenue that you would like to have in your coaching business 6 months from today. So looking at by the end of November, and I don't want you to rationalize this. I don't want you to like, is this the right thing? I want you to write down your ideal outcome. What would be ideal for you? the best case scenario in 6 months from now that you earn every month? Don't think about it, or don't think about how more specifically. Don't bother about how right now. Just write that number down, what you want to earn each month, and write your number into the chat when you have it, so that we know that we're getting it out there.
What's the game we're gonna play?
Yeah.
Because
So
this is for real, right? So please write it in the chat, so we know what game is we're playing. So Morten, 7,000 euros monthly. Awesome. Monica has 6,000 euros per month. And there's nothing right, nothing wrong. Some of you just starting up. Some of you already been going for a while. There's not a right answer. It's just your answer. It's your business. So what's true for you? What do you want? 5K month? 5K month? Start with 5K. Really good. 25,000 pounds. And we have 5K month. We have 12,000. I think that is 12,000 K. We have 5,000 per month. We have 4,000 pounds. We have 5K. Great. So most of you are about want to hit somewhere between 5 and 10. Then some of you are a little bit above. You already got started. So what I want to share with you is 1 year ago, we had a person sitting in this room. And I really want you to hold that number that you've written down, keep that number in your mind. Because I want to share about Ronnie. He's a Swedish health coach. He was sitting here 1 year ago. And when he was sitting in this room in here, he had been in his business for 18 months. And he was making a not consistent, but inconsistent 3K month. So that means some months were 4K month, some months were 1K month, some months were 0. And he had a few clients, but he didn't have a system. He had a coach already. He'd been with a coach for a year, but his business was still stuck. It was still plateauing. So honestly, when he was sitting in this room, he was the coach. He had his camera on, but he was the coach who was sitting in the back. You could see him lean back like this, highly skeptical. I'm not gonna, you can't bring anything to me I haven't heard before. Let's see what you can give to me, because he did not trust anything. He was highly skeptical. You know the people, right? Yeah, you know the people. So we could see, okay, he's going to be a hard one to work with. But the thing is, when he was sitting there, I remembered him all the days. But he did one thing different. First of all, he implemented everything we told here, because he said, even though I'm skeptical, I am going to try, because I cannot continue doing what I'm doing. So he did make a key decision. He enrolled into our DTL program. That's our 90-day program for coaches getting to consistent 5K month, 5 to 10K month. And he just kept doing exactly what we told him to do. And this is funny. And in his first month in DTL, he made 9,000 euros. That was his first 9,000 euro month ever. By month 4, he's sharing here. Well, I just want to share some interesting facts that might be helpful for others. As seen on the picture, my posts are being seen by much more people, and the interaction has skyrocketed after I shifted my Facebook profile from pro to professional to personal. Thank you, Lucas. Also, a big difference is also that I try to follow the posting strategy I learned in DTL. Yesterday, I got a message from Meta telling me that they will soon show my post to more people, since I have posted high quality content consistently for a while. So thank you, Senna and Lucas. So what you can see is happening here is that he actually started to follow a system, a content plan. His engagement on Facebook went up 24,000 times. And his views went up with 1,695%. That is a huge thing to do by just shifting how you do stuff. Now, by the fourth month, he was consistently doing more than 15,000 a month. This is a guy who never done more than 4,000, but in his fourth month, he was doing above. He was actually doing 16,000 in his fourth month. You can see him saying here, hey, I just want to share before I burst. Here's the stats. I had 89 people signed up for my event. I had 57 attending. I had 19 book calls. I've done 11 calls already. 8 clients signed up. So far I made more than 16,000. That means, and yes, I'm so freaking happy. I am happy for him as well. See, that is exactly what has happened in Ronnie's first year. The investment to DTL is 3,000 euros. This is the DTL program. 3,000 euros. Now, Ronnie made more than 59,000 euros in 6 months doing this. See, that's the kind of math we run with our clients. So in total, he turned 3,000 euros into 59,000 euros in 6 months. Now, look at your number again. If Ronnie went from an average of 2,000 a month inconsistent, he went to 15,000 consistent in 4 months. And I promise you, he was the most skeptical guy in this room. What's actually stopping you from getting what you want in your business? So that is the journey we're starting here. It is not a game we're playing here. It is real business. It's real numbers, and it's real strategies that actually work for everyone who works with them. So let me share. I think I didn't even introduce myself properly. That's kind of rude. So let me introduce us probably. My name is Sanna, and I started this coaching business just almost 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I was alone with my 3 kids, mama free, alone with my 3 kids. When I started my coaching business, I was in debt and I had no clue how to get clients. So I started looking into what I could find on Facebook. There was a lot of coaching saying different things. I got really overwhelmed. And I tried to follow some things from that person, some things from that person. And I tried to do a little bit of everything. And what I could see is that it did not work. It was just going down, 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 down. And the little saving I had for the first couple of months, it was just used. And I got to the place in 4 months' time, I needed to make a decision. And I made the decision that I cannot keep hoping this will work. I need help. So I went out, borrowed a little bit more money, and I got my first coach. Someone who could actually show me what to do, how to do it, and I turned it around. So in the first year, I actually hit 150,000 euros in revenue, which meant that I could take my kids on my first holiday alone, where me and the kids paid from having this business. The second year, I partnered up with Lucas, and we did 500,000 euros in revenue that year. Our third year, we did 2 million euros. And we bought our dream ranch where we live today. Now, all of this is that within the first 4 years, we made more than 5 million euros. And all of this is without spending any money on ads. And it's from only using one Facebook account and the right system. By this time, we had a lot of money. We started investing into a lot of things. We started giving a lot, sharing a lot, donating a lot of money to kids. That made us get an invitation to join a charity party at Arnold Schwarzenegger's home in Brentwood, California. We went there. It was a Western themed party. And the year after, we got invited again to a new party. So 7 years ago, 7 years ago, if you asked me, how are you gonna build your business? I would say I have no freaking clue, but if it's not gonna work, I need to go and get a job. But I went all in and I didn't have to. And I can promise you one single thing from that. I'm not here because I'm naturally talented. I'm here because I followed a system. I stayed focused to that system. And it's the same system that Ron is using, the same system that we have more than 900 other clients in Europe been using. And it's the same system that you'll see this week that you will be doing. I'm proof that it works. So if someone without money, with 3 kids, and coming from a job they hated, if they can do it, if you have at least one of those advantages over me, I promise you, you can do it better than I did. So right now, I know some of you are not daring to believe that you can get what you really want. And it is our biggest mission to change that and help you to actually achieve that and make that reality. And you probably hear now that I'm not native English speaking. English is not my first language. Some of you have been thinking, what is the language that is behind that English? I am from Denmark. I've been living in Sweden for the past, it's a long time, 24 years. But I am from Denmark. But I do believe you understand me. Can I just see show of hand if you can understand what I'm saying at least? Yeah, you understand me. So it works. Really good. And the same thing for you. I might not be perfect at English. I might struggle to find some of the words. But I also want to let you give yourself permission to be not perfect here, because nothing of everything we're going to do here, you do not need to be perfect in any way. But we need to do stuff. We need to try. Are you okay just trying? Can you try? Just write try in the chat for me. If you're okay, just trying. Done is always better than perfect. So if we can just commit to trying, then we'll be moving forward. Really good. Really good. So we have one person who would understand better if I speak Danish, but I believe 90% of the room would struggle a little bit harder if I spoke Danish in here. So let's try and do it in English. We'll make it work. Beautiful, guys. So let's map out your future, the reason why you're here for real.
I love it. That's super great. And I want to announce just the highlight that you made, Maggie. Well, yeah, Facebook works differently. The market moves radically. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work, though. So please be careful with what you believe in and invest in. And what you've tried is only a way that you've figured out doesn't work. Let's figure out what actually works. So I hope that's okay. Let's put that angle on it. I just want to address that because it's an important piece, kind of key belief to have. We're looking for what works, not what doesn't. Now, let's dive into mapping out your journey. If we're doing that, in order for us to do that, we need to get back to that number that you wrote down before. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate your cooperation. So we need to get back to that ideal outcome that you wrote down before. If you didn't write it in the chat, make sure that you have it available, because what we are doing is that we are either we play this game passively or we play this game actively. The ones who actively participate are going to get the results. The one who passively interact with this event will just like waste time. So let's make sure that you take your number and have that ready. As we are moving forward to map this out, money is important in if we're measuring the health of your business. But we need to tie it to something that is even more important. And I want us to do that right now. So next to the number that you wrote down, whether it was 25,000 euro pounds per month, or if it was 4,000 euros, whatever your number is, next to it, I want you to write what that money would mean for you if you had it. What would be different? How would that impact your life? Just one sentence. Don't be held back. Don't try to feel your way to it. You already know. Just write it down in one sentence or more. How would that change a normal Tuesday afternoon for you if you earn that amount of money? Who else would it impact by you achieving that outcome? And in what way would your life be different? Take just 20 seconds to write something. Why is it important to you? What would it actually mean? If you, by the end of November, made that money, what would Christmas look like? How would you start the year 2027 if you hit that ideal goal? And when you have it, please write done in the chat so that I know that we have success achieved, or kind of written down what it would be all about. Christina, fastest, I love it. Christmas in the Cabin Lodge by the mountains. Maggie, that sounds amazing. Elizabeth Dunn, thank you for that. Make sure you get that sentence written down, and then when you have it, write down in the chat, me, done. Ragnhild, done. It would mean freedom for my children and me, or my child and me, I'm sorry. And it's only the two of us because my child's father has passed away years ago. Anna, wow, I got you. Nikki, freedom. Christmas with my grandchildren to celebrate on a warm beach. Nice. Stress-free, Kenny, I love that. Being able to invest to grow it even further. Super, super good. Now, what's most important, like I appreciate that you share it with us, but most importantly is that you are fully aware of it yourself. Life in alignment with my core value at ease. Monica, high five. Super good. Because when we have it, we can start to paint it out. And if we were to do that, I would like to do it in a way that looks like this. So this is how to intentionally create an abundant future. That is what we want to do. And the moment we are painting this, it's not just me and Sani's workshop anymore. It's all of ours workshop. Because as soon as we start playing with your numbers, then it becomes real for you, and then the work actually makes sense. So what we have done right now is currently we've figured out that we are now here. This is today. And we have set an idea that in 6 months into the future, we have painted an ideal outcome. This is ideal. And here is whatever number you wrote down in euros or pounds or your currency, it doesn't matter. Whatever you wrote down, that is the game plan. Then we have an intention set. But in order for us to create some bandwidth within this, we need to create a boundary. We need to create a container for this to live in. So you know your ideal amount. You also know the reason for you. Sorry, I'm going to see that you can actually see what I'm writing. You can't. No, now you can. You also know the reason to why this money would be important. So that's really, really great. Let's go down here and look at the one below. What would you deem to be good? Not ideal, but still good. And right now you can write it on your piece of paper. It's not as important that you write it to me in the chat, but that you have it. And when you're done, you can write a big capital D into the chat so that I know that we're progressing. Me, fastest. Kenny, Nikki. Great. So you know what the good amount. So okay, if I reach this amount, then it would still be good. It wouldn't be ideal, but it would be good. Probably more than you earn currently. Probably a little bit of a stretch from where you are today, but towards the ideal outcome. And then we want to look down here and we want to really paint this picture out. And what would be kind of poor? What would be a poor outcome if that happened? And once you've written down what poor would look like, then I want you to write down what would disaster look like. So then we have an ideal, we have good, we have poor, and we have disaster. Because the moment, thank you, Monica, appreciate the done sign with the big D. The moment we've done this, we're kind of starting to see 4 different futures ahead of us. And we can realize that from now and today, we can first of all recognize that all growth happens non-linear. It's exponential, which means that it doesn't explode very fast. So it's going to look something like this. The ideal outcome is going to happen this way. Then we have the good outcome. It's going to happen kind of this way. And then we have the poor outcome. That's going to look something like this. And then we're going to have the disastrous outcome, and it's going to look something like that. Meaning that on your journey towards for the next 6 months, you can go in one of these 4 directions. So let's give them all a name. We're going to name the ideal one number 1. We're going to name the good one 2. We're going to name the poor one 3, and we're going to name the fourth one, the disastrous one, number 4. What I would like for you now in the chat, could you please tell me what trajectory, what line would you deem that you're currently on right now? What's the line that you're currently on? Eva, 4. Anna, 4. Morten, 2. Really good. So Winter Academy, 2. Me, 3. Monica, 4. Kenny, 2. Mariel, 3. Christina, 2. Vanessa, 4. Lars, 2. I see a lot of 2s in the chat. So here's an acknowledgement from me to you. If you are currently heading towards the good outcome, it's not the ideal, which is, so there is still a gap, but I'm not saying that you should change the outcome, what you deem is good, but let's not be good with good. Let's raise the standards slightly. And what I mean with raising the standards slightly, earn more. Raise the standard a little bit so that you have a stretch towards what would be good for you. Don't be okay or satisfied with what is okay. Write something that would actually be really good. And if you feel that you're still on 2, then you keep the 2. That's awesome. But I also see a lot of people being on the lines number 3 and on the lines number 4. Now, and one of the things that I would like you to recognize here is that the difference on this path in terms of results, they are, let's say, 3 months into the future. 3 months into the future would be somewhere here. Then about 45 days into the future, we would be somewhere here. And in the next 30 days, we would be somewhere here. So if we're zooming in to the difference in results 30 days from now, I want you to recognize the minimal distance or the minimal differences that we can see in the different outcomes. Because right now you can see that the trajectory that we call 4 compared with number 1, the result is pretty much the same. And if we're taking that 30 days into the future, it's still very similar. So we haven't really seen any big differences, any big outcomes, or any big changes. And that's what it looks like. But when we then forward the time 45 days into the future, then we're going to start to see that, hey, this is a little bit different. The line between number 1 and 4 starts to separate with each other. And if we are looking 3 months into the future, the difference in the outcomes are big. And if we're fast forwarding that even further, in not to the full 6 months, but let's say 4.5 months into the future, then you're going to be somewhere around here. And what I want you to realize is that if you are anywhere between the line 2, 3, and 4 at that time, the distance between 3 and 1 is irrecoverable. You can no longer catch up with the ideal outcome that you wish that you would get. And this is how we treat our businesses. This is how we treat life in general. We realize that there is not much of a difference happening really fast. So we're postponing it and we think that today doesn't matter. We're inconsistent. We post on socials daily, but we don't do it with a strategy or a system or intention, meaning that we're just doing things. And we're starting to see and realize that I'm keeping myself towards the number 3 and the number 4. And then we're starting to beat ourselves up because, oh my God, I told you, like I'm not moving towards the thing that I said that I wanted, or the thing that I set up for myself. I failed myself again. And little by little, we're killing our soul and everything that connects us to the importance of our coaching business. And it ends us with not being able to ever fully achieving this ideal outcome. So what we are doing right now during this event is acknowledging how and what does it look like to stay on the path number 4. And while staying on path number 4, what could we do to achieve that outcome faster? That's mine and Sanny's job through these 3 days. And that's all. If this makes sense, can you please write sense into the chat, please? Kenny, fastest. I appreciate that. Monica, Christina, Eva, Morten, Elisabeth. Winter Academy. Now I recognize who that is. Good to see you. Mariel, Maggie. Yep. I like it to be different. Yeah, it makes sense. Really good, because I want you to remember this. This is now your map. You know your ideal outcome. You know what poor and disaster would look like. You would also know what good looks like. Maybe you want to raise it a little bit if that's where you're currently heading towards, so that you're playing a little bigger game, so that you can add some tension to it and create it into a real thing that is of actual importance to you. With this, though, I want you to keep this map on like top of mind throughout the 3 days. And I want you to have that when we come back on Thursday, when I'm going to ask you to make a real decision about your business at that moment in time, at that point.
Yeah. Awesome. So we got some clarity. We have a direction. We know where we want to go. Now let's start mapping it out, making that happen. I'm so excited for this. That's gonna happen now. So guys, we have 3 days together. Today, we're gonna get some foundational work in, because we need to know who is the leads and clients you want to work with. How do we attract them? How do we speak to them? We need to make sure we know who we're gonna sell to, who we're gonna work with. That's what we're gonna do today. Gonna get our niche down, get the messaging super crisp, and get your profile started up, your profiles. Tomorrow, when we meet again, we'll go into marketing, and we'll go into understanding what needs to happen in marketing in 2026. Yes, some of you have been in the game for a couple of years, and you've seen the algorithms are completely different. What used to work is not working anymore. The game, the marketing is different today. So we're going to map you through content creation, marketing 2026. We're even going to do a little bit of task to get some leads so we can get our clients. And when we meet on Thursday, we are going to put it all into a system, a full functioning system, so you know what to do, how to get your leads and clients consistently, and how we can do it in a way that feels easy and moves faster. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Are you ready to go and get that niche ready? Can you give me a ready if you're ready to go? Really good. Really good. And thank you, Kenny, for all of your work in the chat. I love how you're helping each other out. We're working as a team here. Really good. I like it to be different. Yes, that's why we're here. We're here because we want to change the things that is not working. Really good. So let's start and understand, what do we need to do? We want to make sure we're attracting the ideal avatar, the perfect avatar. Who's the perfect avatar? It depends on who you are. Who's the perfect avatar for you? And during this step, there's 4 steps we need to get through in order for us to start attracting the right people. Now, some of you, let's start here. Let's start here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we understand what is our niche. Let me get my Apple Pen to work here. So I can actually write, what is my niche? What is my niche? And what is a niche? It means that who am I helping and what do I help them with? That's step number 1. We need to set the niche. Step number 2, we need to be able to have a clear message so they know we're talking to them. That means we need to get our messaging to work. And that is what we're saying. when we go publicly and speaking to people. Third thing we want to do is we need to test. Do the people we want to work with, do they want what we have? And do they understand what we do? So we need to go out and test. This is a hand. I'm here because I'm a business coach, not a writer or a painter. I promise you that. But I think you can see it. So we need to test it. And we need to make sure we get out there and we get people to see what we do and see, do they want the thing we have? If they do not want the thing to have, would you rather know it now or in 6 months? When would you rather know if they don't want what you have, now or in 6 months? Can you share with me? When would you like to know? Now, right? So if we can know that soon, well, we are saving a whole lot of time. The problem I meet with a lot of coaches that we help who's been stuck for a year or 2 years is that they still don't have a functioning messaging. And you can't really do content if your messaging is not working. It doesn't matter how much content you do if your messaging is off. But then we have a fourth problem that a lot of people are overseeing. I don't know about you. Let me ask you, how many of you realize that when you're doing content and you're even getting sales calls, or you're getting into DMs and you speak to people, how many of you feel like the people you speak to have no money, they can't pay, they're not the right people, they're not ready to invest? How many of you see that? Yeah, let's take a show of hands. I want to see how many of you will actually get sales calls or actually speak to people and see. It's not, they're complete. It's always people who keep attracting the people who can't pay or won't invest or won't spend their time doing this. Which means the problem we're having at that place is that you're having a problem with the level of avatar, which means that at this point, we want to do an avatar upgrade. So we start to speak to another level of avatar. And that is a game changer in your business. So there's 4 steps that we need to work with. Now, we only have 3 days and we don't have a lot of time. So what we'll be doing here is that the first 2 steps we're going to work on now, today, and the last 2 steps, you need to get them if you get to work with us inside in our detailed program. It's in module number 1. So it's literally the first thing we fix for you. But first thing is we need to make sure we know our niche and our messaging. So let's dig in. We want to know, step number 1, who are we working with? And now I know that there's a lot of you in the room who feels like, but I already know that. I know my niche. Great. If you know your niche already, just stay with me through this and see if you want to change anything. Or maybe at the end of this session, you will say that, no, I'm actually happy. I can now give it a check mark. It's really good. Or you'll see, shit, I can actually upgrade it to another level. And then you'll do that. So stay with me, no matter if you are doing this for the first time or you already done this work, because doing your niche and messaging work is something that doesn't end. We work with a lot of clients who are already doing 20K a month, and we still work with these things. So it's something we keep working on. Now, let's look at our niche. Well, have you noticed, or let me ask you, how many of you noticed that you have competitors out there? Someone else is doing something similar to what you do. Yeah. If you're not raising your hand right now, I don't know if you're trying to bullshit me or yourself right now, but someone you are bullshitting, right? You have competitors. The market is saturated. It is a lot of people out there. Now, the time where we can just go out and say we help everyone to fix this big thing, those days are over. We need to be more specific. We can't be generic anymore. We need to niche down. And as soon as we start to niche down, I understand, especially if you're quite new, I understand that there's a lot of limiting beliefs about niching down. Number 1 being that, but I can't help everyone. Yeah. If you feel like you can help everyone, does that mean you need to help everyone or you should help everyone? Probably not. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. That is one thing. But I think the biggest thing is that the fear of, if I'm niching down, I'm losing out. I'm going to lose out on some clients. But this is actually not true. It's actually the opposite. The more wide you try to be, the more generic you're trying to be, the more competitors you're going to have. So you kind of need to make a decision. Do I want to be a small fish in the biggest pond out there? Or do I want to go into a smaller pond, but be the big fish where I can actually start taking over this niche entirely? Because being the big one in the small pond will have a lot of advantages. So that means you will get, first of all, by niching down, you will get more clients. But what you'll also get is you will be able to become better for the people you work with, because you are not doing everything, you're doing specific things. But what also happens is you can charge better. When you're not trying to be generic and look like everyone else, you can get yourself out of being a coach that compares on price. Because, like, honestly, there will always be a coach out there who's willing to lower their price more than you. You will never be the cheapest coach in your niche out there. And honestly, do you want to be the cheapest coach in your niche? Or do you want to be the most valued coach? Can you write, like, let me know, what kind of business do you want? Do you want to be the cheapest coach, or do you want to be the highest valued coach? The valued coach, the highest valued coach. Yeah, it feels a little bit more fun, doesn't it? Really good. Great. High value, really good. So let's dig in. Now, when we are looking into niche, it consists on two different parts. We have the who do you help and the what do you help them with. The who and the what. Who is the group of people that you help, and what do you help them with specifically? Now, if we know who we will have, let's say we have some golden rules here. If you choose to have a big who, meaning if your who is a large group of people, let's say people, can we just agree people is a large pool of people? That's a lot. There's a lot of people on this planet. That's big. If I have a big who, I want to narrow down my what. So if I help a lot of people, I need to help them with a narrow thing instead. However, if I'm helping a small pool of people, what could that be? Dentists. This is a way smaller group of dentists than there is of people. If I help them with a small thing, well, then I can actually help them with a big what. So either a big who or a small who, either a big what or a small what. Now, what is a what? Let's take an example of a big what. A big what could be stress. It's a huge thing, being a stress coach. Another big what could be, it could be transformation. Actually, also transformation. Confidence, also a big what. Something that we help a big group of people. It says a lot. It's for a lot of people. If we narrow down, what's a small what? A small what could be, it could be adding AI to your bookkeeping. That's a small one. Now we're narrowing down what we do. So we have a big what, we have a small what. Now, please write to me right now. Don't judge it anyways. Who do you help and what do you help them with? Please share with me in the chat. Who do we help? What do we help them with? Who do you help? What do we help them with? Who and what? It doesn't need to be right. It doesn't even need to be good. It just need to be something that we can work with. Help women suffering problems with progesterone, withdrawal, intolerance, and negative symptoms. Yeah. Awesome. L. What that stands for? I support individuals in navigating major life and career transitions, life transformation coaching. Yes. Great, Monica. And people who are stuck, feel like their life doesn't feel like theirs. Overthinkers, people pleasers, fear towards taking their first small steps towards the life they do want. I help technical managers who struggle to delegate, speak up, and trust their decisions. Awesome. My what is starting again post-loss. Does that mean I need to be more specific? Who or more specific? I got you, Susie. We'll get that. Working parents in international environments, managing the leadership and identity transitions of juggling aging parents, management and raising small children. We educate coaches who want to live like self-employed so they can get out of their job, help middle managers with creating good working life balance and create teams that work together. I help women entrepreneurs with their relationship with money so that they can get rid of self-sabotage and fear of success and start building their financial freedom and start stepping into their full potential. Helping leaders who do everything in their business, where everything in their business still depends on them. I rebuild the way you the way you lead so your team starts owning decisions without your constant involvement. I help women who are looking for transformation to understand what they truly want in life in making the happy and invisible through personal style. People with chronic pain are helping to live a bigger life even if pain don't disappear. Great, we got something that works pretty well, something that we need to do something with, and we have something in between that we can sharpen up. That's beautiful. We have really got something to work with. Now, why is this so damn important? When we want to do marketing, we need to be super, super, super specific. Now, let me give you an example of why being generic would not really work here. Let's say, let's take an example. Let's say I am helping people in this example. Let's say I help people and I help them with stress. Can we agree that people is big and stress is a big group? Can we just agree both of them is big, 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 right? It's a lot of people, it's a big thing. Great. So what happens now that I want to do content? When I want to market to my group of people, what happens? Now let's play around. Let's say we have two different avatars. They're sitting in our audience. They're following you on your social media. Over here, we have, let's say we have Maria. Maria is 20 years old. Maria goes into university. She is feeling stressed because there's a lot of the society pressure on her on getting good grades, getting a great education. She also needs to have a job, but she also needs to have time with her friends and socialize. She also needs to do all the things she wants to do, and she's afraid of not being good enough, and it's stressing the hell out of her. Do we understand Maria? Can I just see your hand if you understand Maria? You can see Maria. Great. Let's go over here. Over here, we have Peter. Peter, he's 60. So he's in another place in his life. He is an executive manager, but he wants to quit his job now. He wants to retire because he frankly feels like he's done enough. He got the money, he got the funds, he just wants to go and play more golf. Now his workplace keeps saying, yeah, can you just stay until we find your replacement? And they said that now for 2 years. And he don't feel like he can leave them behind because he feels a great responsibility. He's been in this business now for 30 years, and he really wants to make sure he's not letting anyone down, even though it stresses the shit out of him. Do we understand Peter? Show of hands, do we understand Peter? Great. So these are our two avatars. They're both following you. So let's say you're going to do content. If you're going to do content where Maria feels like, oh my God, you're speaking to me, that's exactly how I feel, do you believe Peter would recognize the same thing? I don't think so either, because Maria and Peter is not one person. They're two very different individuals. And if you're doing content where Peter says, yeah, that's my language pattern, that's what I connect with, do you think that Maria will feel the same thing over here? No, not at all. So that's what happens when you try to be generic in your content. You speak to no one because you're trying to speak to everyone, but no one feel like this is for me. And sometimes you might be speaking here, sometimes here. And what you do is you're confusing your audience, and your audience don't know what you're all about, and they start not listening to you. So we need to make a decision. If I want to be a stress coach, I don't want to help people anymore. I want to choose who for who. It's a big what? Who do I want to help? Do I want to help college students? Do I want to help executives? Where do I want to cut it? So I break it down, become more specific. Because imagine I only am a stress coach for college students or university students. You see what happens? All of my content now speaks to Maria. She will feel like, shit, you are the right person for me. There's no one else who understands like me as well as you do. If you choose to be a stress coach for executive leaders, well, Peter would probably feel like, okay, you speak my language. You understand what words, because these two are highly different people, but what they are also is highly different levels of avatars. We wouldn't be able to speak to both of them at the same time and have it to work as marketing. So this is why we need to make a decision to narrow down and decide who do we want to prioritize. And while we choose who we prioritize, it doesn't mean that we deprioritize everyone else. It means we speak to one avatar with about one thing we solve for them. And there might be other people coming in and feel like they really love it and like what you do, and they will follow along. But if you try to speak to everyone, you will lose most of them. Does this make sense? Can you write sense? Awesome. So when we understand that, then there's some other things we need to look into and go deeper. Now we have the niche in place. This next thing we want to get in place is that we want to get our messaging. So how do we communicate to this person? What words do we speak to that person so that person understands I'm speaking to them? The first rule we have is we do not say you in our messaging. The reason being that these are people who are cold, who don't know what you do. I want you to speak a language pattern where you get people to opt in and recognize themselves in what you choose, instead of when you say, hey, I help you who do this thing, who you wants this thing. The thing is, in your language patterns, you can either attract people coming into your way and have them feel like they are going into your world because they choose to be a part of your world, or you can point fingers. But what happens to someone when you point fingers and tell people how they are? If I look at you, Elizabeth, and I say, oh, you are that type. And I look at you, Monica, oh, you're that kind of person. How do you feel when I judge you like that? No, it doesn't feel comfortable, right? Because who the fuck are you? That's all my language, right? Who are you to say who I am? You don't know me. And I know I'm really taking it out on a high level right now, but I'm doing it only to prove a point. So what we want to do is, I would rather speak to both Elizabeth and Monica and say, I help coaches, because if both of them recognize themselves, yeah, I'm a coach, then they can jump in here and come to my world and start being curious about what I do. So I want to name my audience with the name of my audience. I don't want to be too direct in this. Are you with me? Make sense? Awesome. So that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are speaking so people can come to us instead of us starting to point around at them. Now let's create this into an actually message. And you have on your in your workbook, something called the messaging builder. Here's some different examples on how to put together a messaging. And it's quite simple. It is literally this simple. So I help avatar who have this problem to get what they want by, if you have any specific way of helping them. So let me see if I can get this into your screen. So, or another version could be, I help my avatar who has this problem to get what they want and desire. Or I help my avatar to get what he or she wants. Or I help my avatar who has this problem. See, there's always either something they want to avoid or get rid of, or there's something they want to have. So either our messaging can focus on the towards, what they want to move towards and have more of, or the messaging can be more about what they want to get rid of or highlighting a problem they have. There is no right or wrong about this. So what works best depends on your niche and the level of avatar you want to attract. But we want to make it, we want to understand our avatar. If we don't understand our avatar, we are gonna be in trouble when we're gonna start doing our content creation. If we want to do marketing, we need to know who we speak to, and we need to understand what's going on with them, what's important for them, what's their problem, what's their aspiration, what is it they want, what is the frustrations they're having, what's the symptoms they're having. We need to understand all of that. Now, we made a little bit of help for you. Now, when we work with our clients, we give them one of the biggest updates. We've just been doing the biggest update we've done into our programs that we ever done. And the big difference, of course, is that we have a lot of AI today, which means that our programs now contains so many AI tools to help coaches work better. Now, we included, I think we have right now 18 custom GPTs that literally help with everything into your business. But I took one with me that I want you to see. It's down below. That will help you literally with this problem. It's down below. It says, get help from the Messaging Fixer GPT. That is one that will help you to build up your messaging. But let me just work. I can work with one of you. Would it be good if we do one of your messages here and then you know what to do on your own? I think that would be good. Let's do it. So let me find one we can work with. Let me find one we can work with here. We have a lot of great ones to work with. So what do we have? Really good. Monica, you are actually fast here. Let me see. Monica, can you unmute yourself? Can I help you? Let's take yours. I just want to see what you do here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I love your energy, I have to tell you. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for making it easy for me to have so much fun here in the room.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yes, so I am just in the process of building my business. So I'm not yet running, and I decided to specialize in life transformation.
Yes.
And so can you see it in the chat?
Yes, I see it in the chat here.
So after what you said and what you explained, I am not anymore so sure if I am specific enough.
Great. But let's test it out. So what we're going to do, let me share my screen as well so we can do this together. Because what happens here, let me just share my screen. There it is. Once you open the Messaging Fixer, you should be able to see it like this. I believe you can see my screen now. You can see my screen. Can I get a thumbs up? You can see my screen, right? Yes, great. So what we're going to do here is take what we have. and work with that. There's two ways: audit this niche statement or rewrite my niche line for clarity. So if you never had one, then you just choose this one. And if we have something already, we go in and audit it and see how it works. So let me just get the chat up here again. Now it disappeared again. Let me just see where I can find it. There it is. I support individuals in navigating major life and career transitions. Really good. So what we do is we start by just taking that in here and we see what happens. Great start. To tighten this, we need 4 key details. Who do you help? So who do you help?
People.
People.
In life transitional situations, pivoting life.
In life transitional, what did you say?
Life transition, or life transition situations. So changes in life, I want to say.
Right. And what pain and problem are they stuck in now?
They might be in an identity crisis after a career change. They might be, they might need support in getting onto the next path. What does the next chapter bring for them? How do they get back on their feet?
Yeah.
Once they got shook up? I just
yeah. Just for me to write it in, because there's a lot of words.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't know what to do, or they don't know what they want. Is that?
Yes. Okay, we have identity crisis, career change, don't know next steps, or don't know next steps.
Yes. But let's start there. Let's start there. It will guide you. So what outcome, result do you want? Do you help them reach?
I help them reach getting clarity, getting and shining light towards insights within the person. I think I want to keep it, shining lights towards insight.
And what is your offer? What's your program?
For you mean the number of
what's the length of your program?
Yes. 4 sessions, 8 sessions, or 12 sessions. 4, 8, or 12 sessions, and each session is 60 minutes of length.
So we start there. So now it starts coaching you here. I support individuals who in navigating major life and career transitions. That's where we were. Now, what's weakening the messaging? Individuals is too broad. You knew that already.
Yes.
It doesn't help the right people to instantly identify themselves. Navigating transitions is vague. It sounds supportive, but not outcome driven. And life transformation is generic coaching language. It's emotionally appealing, but it's very unclear. And so the strongest parts of your position is actually identity crisis, career uncertainty, or not knowing next steps, helping people reconnect to themselves and gain clarity. So we can start looking in here. Here's some different ideas we can that might inspire you.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Yes.
So I help people through life and career transitions. What I would actually do, knowing what we know right now, I would not say people.
Yeah.
Well, we can say people if we find something that is super, super specific. We go down here and it gives you the strongest pit. I help people go from feeling lost and uncertain to clear and confident about their next steps. Now, the thing is, it's still, for me, it's still a little bit broad. We also gave it something to work with because we gave it a lot of challenges here. Now, what I would still do with this is I would still narrow down the who, because for me, this is still a big one. So I want to narrow down the who So who could those people, who is like, if you could only coach have one client the rest of your life, Monica, who should that be? Can you imagine any person in front of you? Maybe even someone you could give a name.
Feeling lost. A
Yeah,
person who's feeling
is
lost.
is it a man? Is it a woman?
Absolutely.
What does that person do?
Well, it can be a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But you can only have one. I said one client the rest of your life, and not a lot of people are both and.
Okay, good point. Okay. Oh, I have never thought about this. Okay, a woman who is lost.
A woman who's lost. What do we know about this woman? Do you see anyone in front of you? Do you know anyone who would be a perfect client to you?
Yes.
What does she do? What do we know? Does she have a family? Does she have kids? How old is she?
She is in her mid-40s. She has had a over 20 years of corporate career, got laid off from her corporate job, feels lost, is not married, doesn't have kids, and tied her identity towards her corporate job for all of those years, and now doesn't know who she is.
Okay, I just want to check in with everyone. What happened here? What did you hear now?
Wow.
So can you feel it, Monica? What happens now?
Yes, it's specific.
Yes.
Super specific. And I'm talking to a woman in, like I see this, and that's exactly what brought me to the whole thing. It's very, very eye-opening.
Awesome, because now we know, okay, it's a woman, she's in her 40s, she's not in a relationship, she doesn't have kids, she's highly focused on her career.
Yes.
See, that is not all women.
True.
That's one identity type of women you want to talk to, primary. Doesn't mean that you can't take in everyone else who listens to what you're saying. It's not what we're saying, but we want to speak to that person because you need to speak to her widely different than you need to speak to someone else. Now, if you look at this woman, specific woman, if you have this woman in mind and you again look about feeling lost and uncertain to clear and confident, what would she feel uncertain and lost about?
Her identity.
Yeah.
Her next steps, literally figuring out if she wanted to apply again for corporate jobs in her field of expertise.
Yeah.
Or if she wanted to pivot her life completely on a 360-degree sort of model and start a new business, start eventually her own business. I don't know, go study again, proceed learning, learn a new language, move a country, buy a new house. I don't know. Yeah.
What happens for you right now, Monica, as you speak about this?
I get myself so much clarity. Yeah. And I definitely will go back to my sort of messaging or positioning statement, if you will.
Yeah.
And I need to narrow this down because it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
The message, I speak different to this woman. So thank you very much
for welcome.
Going with my example. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to check in with the rest of you in the group. How many of you see the difference in Monica's energy when she spoke about the person first and the person now? Yeah, that is what clarity looks like. And how many of you recognize how big difference there will be from speaking to a woman who's 40 plus, career-minded, not even had time for kids and everything else, needs to know what to prioritize. She's a no BS person. She doesn't take a lot of talk around. She sounds like a very ambitious person compared to if we speak to people who are lost in life. You can see how wrong this can become. Speaking to just another person about the same thing is going to be completely different. So Monica, for you, I would definitely first go back and see, this is the woman you have in mind when you do this exercise now, that woman. And when you do that, I also want you to look into, so what, like now we narrowed down the who, so you can still keep the what a little bit open, or you can choose to say, I have the who, but I can choose to narrow down. Is it because she wants clarity about the next steps in her career? Is it whether she wants to have clarity about, does she want to start a business or stay in her, like, does she actually know she wants to start a business? Like, what is the thing you actually want? The more specific you become, the faster your business will move. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So I just want to check in with the rest of you. How many of you right now see something different in your niche or your avatar, or you can see that, oh, I can update or downgrade or change or do something that will make it more out of the generic? Because Monica started very generic. Now we are nowhere near generic. Now we're moving down there where it's literally crisp and nice. Very specific. So, well done. Exactly. It is, and exactly what you're saying, Maggie. Women who don't have kids, they have different priorities. Like if you do all your content to people without kids, and all your content you speak about having kids, well, you're not going to attract the right woman. So we need to understand who we speak to. So Marielle, you struggle a little bit with how to niche down. So you know what I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you your task for tomorrow. It will actually be, look at this, and we can continue working with this. We are going to have a Q&A before we end. So if we have more time, I would love to help more of you out. Is that okay? But start by going through and use the GPT. It doesn't necessarily take you all the way, but it starts to have you thinking, questioning how you're thinking. And like with everything else AI, we don't just take what it gives us. We question what it gives us and make it better. The GPT is in your workbook. It's down on the on this page in your workbook that says the messaging builder. And if you click the link down here where it says get help from you, that's the messaging fixer GPT is a link. And there it is through. Thank you so much. So now we're going to have the messaging. We get a better messaging and more clear, and we're going to use that tomorrow. So the more clarity we have that to work with when we start looking into content creation tomorrow and doing our marketing. We need to know who we speak to. Now, so work on that. Now, where do we put that messaging then? Well, the messaging is what we have when people come and see your profile for the first time. So let's say you're working on any social media channel. It does not matter what social media, well, there's some that are better than others, but when you use your social media for marketing, we want to have it there, because what we're going to go through tomorrow is how to use your marketing, which means that you will have a lot of people, when you start installing this system, you start seeing that you'll get a lot of people who never seen you before, don't know who you are, they will start coming into your profile. So what do we do when they see your profile for the first time? We want to make sure we grab their attention, and we want them to recognize themselves that this is something I want. So you use your niche statement. You can use that and just put it in. No matter what kind of platform you're using, you just put it in your niche statement on that platform. Can you share with me, what platform are you using? What social media platform are you using in your business? What's your marketing platform right now? We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Insta, Facebook, YouTube. We have LinkedIn, Facebook, LinkedIn, and a bit of Instagram. And none so far. Make a decision for you, Christina. LinkedIn and Instagram. Planning to use Instagram, Facebook. Tomorrow we'll go deep into marketing. So don't worry, we have the platforms here, so we know what platform to use. Now, no matter what platform to use, there's different ways we want to make sure that we optimize your profile for lead generation. The first place people see you, first time they lay eyes on you, I want to grab their attention. I want them to understand who you are, because if they pop into your profile and it's just a picture of you or your kids in there, doesn't say anything, you know what will happen if they see pop into your profile? They will leave without following you, without sending you a friend request, or without doing anything. And you know what also will happen? They will not start a communication with you. So we can turn that around by just optimizing the profile. So we optimize it for lead generation. Now, in order for us to do that, I want you to test right now what is working, what's not working on your profile. And we have another GPT on that page you have that is called Update Your SoMe Bio. Test your profile lead machine quality with this the profile audition GPT. That's another link that you can use. I would love to give you a walkthrough to one of you. So if you have a link to your profile you would like to get a review on, then you can just drop a link to your social media profile. Then I can do it here and show how this works. But you have this access to this GPT as well. Oh, you see here. Yeah. Maya, you fast. I'll use yours here. And let me just show you. Great, so let me just do like this. Let me share my screen so you can see what happens here. We'll do this together. So let me just that was an Instagram profile, great. So what we'll do, let me just share my screen so you can see what I'm doing here. There it is. So here is Marielle. So what I'm going to do here is I just want to open up so I can see everything that is here. And I can see your grid down here. And what I'm doing is literally just I take a screenshot of your page like that. Now I have a screenshot. I take that screenshot and I go into the profile audition and I upload that in here. We should have that here. So it identified now that we have an Instagram platform. And if it goes through the different things on your profile, it will start rating you if you have a beginner profile and rate you from 0 to 3. If you have an authority profile, that is where you have credibility but clarity or lead generation is inconsistent. The beginner profile is unclear positioning, not yet built for authority or lead generation. And we have lead generating profiles 7 to 8. Clear positioning and authority profile supports inbound interests. And then we have to 1% conversion profile and 9 to 10, immediate clarity, strong authority, visible proof, and clear lead generation. So overall, you are getting an authority profile. So 5 out of 10. So in the middle, there is emotional authenticity and a consistent niche direction, but the profile lacks immediate clarity and conversion structure for cold visitors. So it's giving you here some scores on your authority. It's 5 out of 10. First impression is messaging and bio clarity. That's what we just worked with. That is scoring right now 4 out of 10. Aesthetics is 7 out of 10, so it looks fine. SEO, discoverability. Can people actually find your platform while just searching? It's 3 out of 10. One thing we want to fix. And then we have proof, results and credibility, 3 out of 10. And lead generation gets a 4 out of 10. So what is working, what's not working? The profile has a strong emotional tone. and a highly consistent visual identity. So it will literally tell you here what's not working, and it will also tell you what is not working. Like the bio does not immediately communicate a clear transformation, audience, or positioning within seconds. And that's the work we just did. We need to upgrade the messaging so it becomes more clear. And we have some different things here about the profile name has limited discoverability, strength, and weak keyword visibility. We have visible proof, outcomes, authority markers, and credibility signals are minimal. So this is the things you should be working on. Now, that would give you some, I'll just check in with you, Marielle. Does that sound reasonable to you, that you can see that there's some things that you probably, new at, some things you want to upgrade? Yeah, you can see that. It makes sense. So you know what we need to work on. Now, we made another tool for our clients where we have Insight DTL. It's not enough for us to give an audition. What we also have another one called the profile update. So in here, if I take the answer from the first one and I add it in here, this one will literally give you what to write, what to do. We just want to put in a little bit of information here. So quick question before we build your complete platform here. Who's your ideal client, Marielle?
My ideal client is a spiritual woman ready to be honest with herself about how she abandons herself.
Spiritual woman. So when you say needs to be honest, when we do marketing, we're going to speak more about that. When we do marketing, we want to speak to people about something they're already aware of, because if they're not aware of it, they won't recognize themselves. So is it okay we change that she wants to do it?
Yeah, of course.
So what would you say in that? So spiritual woman who what?
Who wants to do the...
Oh, it's lacking a bit. What did you say?
Spiritual woman who is ready to do the inner work.
Yeah, that's again about work. What is it that she wants?
What is it that she wants? She wants
we can start with the problem. Let's take the problem. Let's take it in this order. What's the problem?
Self-condemnation and criticism.
How do you spell that?
Nation, yeah.
Something like that. Self-criticism. Yeah. Something like that. We have what she wants. What is the outcome you help her to achieve?
She wants to feel relaxed in her own skin and at ease with herself. And
great. And what is the lead generation offer? Like, what's the offer to get closer to you as a lead generation? I saw on your page that you had a workshop or a one-on-one session. So it's kind of a sales call, right?
Yeah.
So if we so we had workshop or so one-on-one clarity call or workshop. That's what we could see on the page. So then it's asking me, do you want to keep the current lead generation as it is, or are you open to upgrading it?
Oh, I'm open to upgrading it.
Yeah. Okay. So we have here a full breakdown of what's working and not working here. So cold visitors likely think, I like her energy, but what exactly does she help people with? And that uncertainty is where conversion drop. So we look into here, what do we want to upgrade? The profile picture should communicate safety, calm authority, emotional groundness, confidence without trying hard. That's the first thing. If we look at the profile picture, I think you're not off here. Oh, now it gets into a story. But here we have the profile picture. The only thing I would do, I think there's some confidence in that profile picture. I would like to have you a little bit closer so I see you a little bit more. People trust faces, so I would like to have you a little bit closer to the camera so I can see your face a little bit more. But I believe that so there's maybe we trust you. We might want to upgrade the authority just a little bit. So it might just be the posture that has more confidence because you want to show them really confidence. I don't think you're way off. I think you're very close here. So just think about maybe getting a little bit, see if we can get that in here, a little bit more clear right now. It feels soft and emotionally aligned, which is good, but the image also needs sharper authority presence. So the same thing, a little bit more authority, not so warm and nice. We love that, but we want more authority as well. Then, of course, why it matters. And then we have, you get it here. Eye contact, cleaner crop and face, slightly brighter contrast, neutral tone background, relaxed but grounded expression. That's your guide to do your picture. Then we have the name and SEO upgrade. And we want to make sure we are using your name fields should contain searchable keywords tied to the transformation. So we have some examples down here. You have your first name, spiritual mentor, because that would be a search word for people who are looking for spirituality and they're very well aware it's spiritual. We have here, down here, what it could also be, self-worth and nervous system coach, emotional healing mentor, spiritual self-worth coach. You see, now I get some more words that become SEO words. That is better for search, for searchability. Remember today, your Instagram, that will be found on Google when people Google it. If we use keywords right, your content will have a great spread if we understand how to use the keywords. And then what we want to upgrade about the bio, we want to make sure that we have some ideas. Who you help, helping spiritual women heal self-criticism and emotional overwhelm. And then we have the next one, nervous system healing and emotional, so they can feel safe, soft, and ease within themselves. Then we have the authority, nervous system healing plus emotional regulation. And then we have the CTA, join the workshop, start here. So you see what it does here about your CTA. We remove the one-on-one call and just have the workshop because we want to have one way to move people forward, not two. And we don't want to have directly to a call. And that's for all of you. You do not want to have a one-on-one session like a discovery call up there because these are cold audience. It's too early. We need to have something people can dare without having risk to move forward with. It's easier for them to sign up for the workshop than to go into a clarity session if they don't know you. It will work if people are warm. And don't worry, tomorrow we're going to go into marketing. We'll understand the flow. But this is primary. Your platform, what your platform looks like is primary for cold audience that never met you before. They don't trust you yet. So we want to make sure it can be used that way. Your profile currently has, so this is about the authority and proof placement. So what we want to do is that we want to, let's see if we can get it down here. So what we can do to add more proof is that we can have a little bit more trust or certainty or conversion. That means that you can write how, like, if you knew, I understand you knew, so I would write something about like what education you have, because that's an authority piece right now. If you've been doing this for 20 years, I would write that, hey, 20 years in this. If you already have clients, help more than this many clients. These are authority pieces to give authority and trust to that you know what you're doing and it's safe to work with you because you already established in the market. So depending on if you're new or we've been at it for a while, we need to find an authority piece that we can add to your bio that will help you to add that. Depending
So
on
where do you add Where do you add that? Do you write that straight in your bio?
Straight into your bio. That is the third line.
Yeah. Is
The
that where
third
you write
line
it?
we will put in here.
The authority?
Yeah, so it would be down here.
So something like I've helped hundreds of women, blah blah blah, or I've already worked with or like 20 years of
Exactly.
experience helping 20 women, hundreds
It's
of
line
women.
number 3.
Okay.
You put it into line number 3. So first line needs to be your bio, the messaging we just made. Number 2 is like, what is the result they'll get out of working with you? Line number 3 is your authority. Line number 4 is your CTA, your lead magnet, or your lead generation thing you have here. Then we have down here. So we have, it's a long, we don't need to go through everything here. There was the last one I just wanted to see. Where is it? The lead generation here. Instead of book a call, a clarity call, we would definitely move, the workshop would work. So right now you can use a workshop, but it would be better if you had a lead magnet that is even easier to say yes to, no matter when they come into your thing. Here's some ideas about like a nervous system reset session, or that is what we call the clarity call instead. There's some different names. I would not do that. I would take the name. Instead of workshop, we can call it like the regulated woman workshop. That one frames what's it about. What do I get out of that thing? So that is just about what is the thing. See, here it suggests we do a workshop first, and then we build trust, and then we can invite them to the one-on-one session. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally.
Really good. Thank you for letting me just use your profile here as an example on how to make these upgrades. So all of these small things is what will make your profile works better or not generate as good as it can. Does this make sense? I just want to check in with all of you. Does this make sense? Can you please write sense in the chat for me? It makes sense. Awesome. It's so good. Really good. So let's continue. I want to make sure we have a little bit of time for Q&A as well, if there's any question about anything we've been doing today. However, there's one thing that is important. Tomorrow, we are going to go into doing a campaign. We are going to do marketing tomorrow. And one of the things that is most important for me to just talk about before we do that, because everything we're going to do here and everything we teach at this level, when you're starting and doing less than 10K a month, we do that organically. And when we do organic marketing, it is very important that we understand what's right and wrong, because there's a lot of myth out there, and it is a little bit overwhelming, confusing, because a lot of people will say different things, but I want to make this very, very clear. Now, the first thing is, the first myth I hear a lot is like, organic marketing is slow to see any results. Well, first of all, it is really, really, really false. See, this is the biggest one, because people think organic marketing, it means that you post and post and post and post and post for months, and then hoping that eventually something starts to work. But the reality is actually opposite if you just know what you should be doing. Organic marketing is the absolutely fastest to get speed and get data. So both to get clients and get the data you need. Well, you'll see that tomorrow when we actually do the first thing. Because the moment you start, like you remember what we spoke about before about niche messaging. After niche messaging, the third thing we want to do is we want to get out there and test. Now, let's say that when I do that organically, I go out and test. You know how fast I actually get a response to what I'm doing? I will know within 24 hours, did it work? Did it not work? I will literally get the answer immediately. So either I get the result I want, or I get the data I need in my business. I get that within 24 hours. Now, if I run ads to figure it out, you know what happens to most people who run ads? They run ads month after month after month, And it turns out that it does not work. First of all, when you run ads, you need to have a lot of ad copies that you're testing. Then it takes a couple of weeks to getting through a learning period, at least 1 week to really get up to the learning period. Now that's already the first week. And you might figure out there, well, it didn't work. Well, I can tell you that, like, yes, you get some data on it, but it goes so slow. Where we would be able to do this organic and get response. And you have Charlotte saying you made more than 300,000 euros in organic since 2023. So yeah, been working with Charlotte. I'm so happy for her. She's so good, been doing so well. So that is about, you get quick results, you get quick data, and you can move instantly and do different things. You don't need to run 10 tests to figure out that you spent 500 euros and it took you 2 months to learn. I want you to know, I spoke to a few of you before we started today, and the most important thing is, some of you have been in your business for months already. And how many of you right now know, from what we've been talking about today, how many of you right now know that, okay, maybe my messaging could be even better? Maybe I'm not clear enough here. Wouldn't that have been nice to know when you started, like after a week? Wouldn't that be nice to know already like week 1? That's my thinking. It does not take long time. It takes a long time only when we do not do the right things. Because if we do know how it works, well, we can get instant data. So it is the fastest way, and it works. The second thing that and I can actually see here some examples of this. And let's see if you can actually see these. No, I can't. We have the first one here. Håkan. Let's see if I can actually see here. Håkan say, I must say I'm happy, I'm scared, I'm thrilled, and I'm amazed at the same time. If I can do this in 1 day, we gave him one campaign. This is in 1 day. If I can do this in 1 day, what's then possible in this year? Thank you for today. I've got 10 sales calls booked in 1 day. That means you post in the morning and you have 10 sales calls during that day. It's about knowing what you do. For me, that means I'm learning, I'm growing, but I'm not really in the place in my mind where I'm ready for a lot to move on fast. So I better keep developing myself and review the things to get better. How many of you would like to be able to post something and get 10 sales calls during that day? Would that change results? Probably. Here we have another one, Nina over here. Hey, I'm celebrating 70 new Facebook friends, 10 new follows on Instagram. See if I can get it into the screen. Engagement averages 25.4 likes and 6 comments, 1 leads from my ebook campaign. I had 3 sales calls, no sales yet, but a lot of things are happening. So this is what she did in a couple of days. Here we have Martin, my biggest win. I reached my 1-year goal of 10K month within 3 months. And I started my second group program since joining you. I am more clear on what I offer. So my clients in this group is a lot more fitting to my new concept and know more what to expect. And here Angela is celebrating approximately 160 new followers and friends on Facebook in the last 10 days. That's 16 a day. That is a great average for growing your socials. Here we have Hafi, gained better structure, made some progress in the process, booked 12 sales calls, improved my Facebook page, and had a lot of fun this week. Sounds like a great week. Additionally, I also already sold the 1 course spot. That is what it looks like. It does not take a lot of time, only if we have the belief. I think Lucas said that earlier today. Be careful what you believe, because you might believe something that will have everything slowing down for you. So if we look at myth number 2, that is that you need to have a big audience. And I just started up, Marielle, we just looked at your Instagram. It has 160 or something like that. Hey, what do I do if I don't have a big following? Well, you do not need to have a big following. That is also a false belief. If we look at some of our clients, well, Well, let's zoom in on some of these ones. Well, we have Mika here, 1,300 friends. He posted what we are going to do here. He got 27 leads, and he scheduled the first free sales calls when he was sharing this. Here we have Stian, 1,200 friends, and 2,900 followers. We started working with Stian a year ago. He made 5,000 his first month. Right now, he's doing approximately 18,000 euros monthly, being a spiritual coach for empathic people, and grief coach. So it's just not true. You do not need to have a big following. You just need to know how to get in front of the people who are not following you. So you can grow your following and you can make money at the same time. Get clients while you grow your following. It's not one or the other. It's both and. And then we have the third one, and that is that it takes a lot of time and it's difficult. Well, everything is difficult if you don't know what to do, but like at some point I thought bicycling was difficult. I don't think it's difficult today. At some point I couldn't even walk. So I would say we can all learn things that are quite simple because it's not difficult. It's just a structure. It's just knowing what to do. It's a recipe. It's literally just a recipe I need to know. And if I know the recipe, it is not hard. And we got 23 million in client results here proving that. Here's what it looks like for clients when we have a person here celebrating my first sale on my challenge. Total sales so far this month is 10K. My first 10K month. We have another one here. Let's see if we can have here. My new goal reached today's sales is 55,000. I now doubled up on my hike goal and I'm going to triple up. So that means I made 46,000 so far. So this is doing in less than 1 month. Then we have another one here. Change expectations for appreciation is powerful. By the way, I just sold 2 programs from free sales calls so far. And we have someone here say, hey, I just did it. 67,000 in the last 65 days. And here's another one. I sold my 2 first high-end programs today. It's a total of 42,000 in a day. Here's another one saying something is working. I got 8,500 in this month. And there's another one, just sold 1 more education. That's 5 in 2 days, and that's 26,000. And another one celebrating 135,000 in less than 133,000 in less than 100 days. And another one, 12,000 in 10 days. And we had 32,000 in 6 days. I believe that's unusual. 32,000 in 6 days. Is that a good week or a good week? That's a good week, right? So no, it's not difficult, but we need to know when is, because I have absolutely love ads, and most of you are here because you saw an ad. There's definitely nothing wrong with ads. It's just when do we use it? And this is the rule. If you're doing less than 10K a month, you need proof and clarity. That's what you need. You need proof. So you prove to yourself that you can do it. And you need to get proof by having clients and having some proof out there. And you need to have clarity. And you only need that by doing organic. You do not need to run ads to do 10K a month. If you're running between 10 to 30K a month, what we need is predictability. We need to make sure the system is ready to scale it so we can have like predictability all of the time. That means we do organic and we start doing light paid on top of the organic because now it works. And then once you get above 30K a month, well, then we go into scale mode. And that means that we amplify what works already organically. We start amplifying that. So that's how we use organic versus paid. There's a right time for using organic. There's a right way for using paid. And all the time, if you want to have a cheaper lead generation, using organic while you use paid is just going to be make things move easier and give you more profit in your business. Awesome. Has this day been valuable? Can you write value if this day has been valuable for you? If you got something out of it? Very cool. It's been valuable. Value. Yes, thank you. Value, value. Merci beaucoup. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it sounded cool. Super valuable. Thank you. Really good. And just want to say that you're giving already so much value. Many workshops don't give this much value right from the start. I'm really happy to hear that. Really happy to hear that, Kenny. Thank you so much. Awesome. So my task for you, we're going to meet tomorrow, same time. And we're going to go into marketing tomorrow. So we meet at 3 again. I'm going to give you one task. I'm going to give you 2 tasks. The first task is for you to write down in your workbook. Organic marketing won't work for me because I identify if you have any limiting belief that is holding you back in your organic marketing. And I can and I will crush it with organic marketing because why is it a must for you right now? And then in your own words, why is organic marketing the only thing you need in your business right now? And just a commitment piece to yourself. Are you committed to being here all 3 days during the assignments and treating this free class as if you pay 10K and to be able to get leads and clients? It's a yes or no. And write down just your revenue goal so you know what's your goal and why is it significant to you, the reason why we're in this room. That is your task. Now, there's just one more thing I would like you to do. I want to make sure this workshop is not just going to be a lot of me talking. I want to make sure you actually take it into your business and we start moving. Right now, today is day 1 of changing the trajectory in your business. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take 15 minutes, write down your avatar, like follow the framework to make your messaging. I help who to get what. And send it to us. I really want to see where we are landing. Just reply to one of our emails or send me a DM either on our Instagram or on our Facebook. Just reply anywhere and send it to us. Because I want to make sure I can prioritize you. When I understand what you do, it's so much easier for us to adapt the things we do to make it specific for you. So I would love to see it. So please ship it out to us so we know where we're at. Is that clear? We know what to do? Really good. Now we got 5 minutes before we wrap up here. And we meet again tomorrow at 3. Now, if you, yes, you can just reply to the email that you sent the invitation with. Absolutely. That's good. Awesome. Now, if you have a question, I think we have time to handle one question. If you have a question about anything we've been doing today, can you write a big capital Q inside the chat so I can just take care of that? If you have anything that is unclear to you, please write a capital Q and I can take care of it. If not, I just believe that, oh, it was so clear. Sounds like it was very clear. Well, looks like you got the clarity. The day was very clear. I'm really happy. We got the clarity. Everyone knows what to do. And when we meet tomorrow, we will go through your marketing. We'll go through your content plan, what to post, how to post, what to think about doing content. And we'll do a campaign. And you'll also get more clarity about what exactly in your business you need to focus on right now. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Thank you so much for staying here with us today. And I'm excited to see you again tomorrow and we get into more work tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening and see you very soon.